to make this hoodie cowl, you are going to need size 6 super bulky yarn. I use Lion Brand's Wool Ease Thick and Quick. You'll need 1 skein for baby, toddler, child, and big kid size. And adult, you'll need 2 skeins. US size 13 circular needles, 20 inches or 16 inches. And the size 15 for the adult size. You'll need a stitch marker and a tapestry needle. Okay, so we need to cast on. First we have to make a slip knot. And we have a long tail, right? And so we twist our yarn, and then we pull the one on the bottom through like that. And then we put it on our needle and tighten it, okay? So cast on 39 for baby, 47 for toddler, child, and big kid, and 59 for the adult size. This is how I hold it. Put my pointer finger and thumb in the middle. I just pull it like that. Now I can go over here and around and go in between those. Okay. Over, pick it up, come over here, go in between those two. So we have 3. Let's do it again. 4, 5. Okay, one more time. Okay, so keep doing that. Okay, so I have my stitches around my needle. Okay, so now we need to join in the round. So we get our yarn, we have it in the back, not in the front. So in the back, right, we are going to get our stitch marker. I lost all my big ones, I don't know where they went, so I just made it out of the bread twisty tie. Okay, put it on our right needle. Now we are going to join. So we put our needle in the front, and then it goes in the back. Okay, and then we have our yarn. We bring it around our right needle counterclockwise. Okay, and then we slip it off. So that's how we joined. Okay, now I've got some options here. Options are good, right? You can make a garter stitch like this on the bottom so that it doesn't roll like this. But if you want it to roll, then all you do is knit each round for the cowl. Or you can do this garter stitch, right? Which is knit 1 row, purl 1 row, knit 1 row, purl 1 row. So you do that for 4 rounds. Or what I'm going to do here and show you how to do is the seed stitch, which is a knit 1 and then we're going to purl 1. So we get our yarn and it's in the back to knit, but to purl we put it in the front. Okay, and then we go from the back to the front and bring our yarn counterclockwise on our right needle. Okay, and that's how you purl. Now we want to knit. We bring our yarn in the back, and then we put our needle from the front to the back, and then we bring our yarn around. Okay, and then we purl. Bring our yarn in the front, go from the back to the front, bring our yarn counterclockwise. Okay, now we want to knit again, put it in the back, from the front to the back. Okay, this is how you do the seed stitch. Row 1, you knit, purl, all the way to the end of the round. Here's the end of the round. Okay, slide our stitch marker over, And now to do the seed stitch, for round 2 and 4 we purl 1 and knit 1. Purl, knit. All the way to the end of the round. Okay, in round 5 we will just start knitting the whole round. Okay, alright, round 5. And for the rest of the cowl, we are just going to knit every stitch. And then, if you're making the baby size, knit for 4 rounds. The child size is 12 rounds, and the adult size 26 more rounds, or just however long you want your cowl to be, or however thick, however wide. Okay? You turned your work over, now you're working on the wrong side. You slip your first stitch purlwise, okay? And this will make a really nice edge where you don't have to crochet around your edge. And then now we purl 2 together. Okay, and then we purl all the way to the last 3 stitches. Okay, so now for our slip slip purl, we slip these off knitwise, then we put them back on our left needle, and then we go through here. Okay, here, I'm gonna turn it over so you can see. We go through both of these and put our needle back in front. Oh, you didn't see that. Okay. Go through both of those. Put your needle back in front. And then purl them. And then you purl your last stitch. Okay? Turn it over. Now for row 2, we slip our first stitch. And then we do our slip slip knit, so we slip the next 2 stitches. We go through those 2 and knit them. Okay, and then you knit all the way to the last 3 stitches, knit 2 together and knit 1 right here. Knit 2 together, and then knit 1. Okay, so your increase, this is what it'll look like. This is, I just finished my row 4, and you're going to increase for rows 5 and 6, and then the other ones, all that you do is you slip that first one, okay, and then you just start knitting or purling all of these. Okay, now that you're done, we're going to do the Kitchener stitch. So I cut my yarn and I left a long tail. And then what you first do, you go through our first stitch purlwise. And we leave it on the needle, okay? And then we're going to go through our back stitch knitwise. Okay? Now we go through our first stitch on this needle and we pull it off knitwise, okay? Pull it off. And we go through our next stitch purlwise and we keep it on our needle. Alright, and now we go through this one purlwise, slide it off, and then knitwise on this one. Okay, so let's do it again. Knitwise, pull off, purl, purlwise, pull off, knit. And I pull it pretty tight. Okay, one more time. Knitwise pull, purl. Leave it on. Purlwise, which means just purl it, pull, knit, and keep it on. Okay? So you keep doing this till the end of the row. Knit, purl, purl, knit. And that's how you do the Kitchener stitch. Bam! Look at that. You can't even tell where we did it, right? Alright? Okay, so if you pulled it too tight, then that's okay. You just pull it how you want it. I know I'm really close. Sorry. Okay, and then what I do is I tie a knot. And then I put it through the inside. So put our tail through the inside, right? And then you are just going to weave this tail in, as well as your first tail. And then if you also did another tail when you added the other skein. Okay, so it hides it, right? And you pull it. And then you can go back if you want. But yeah, that's what you do. In my written pattern, there's another ear option that is more pointy, like a fox, cat, or a wolf. So you can do that if you want. But I'm going to show you how to make the bear ears. Okay, for the ears, we need to cast on 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Row 1 we knit. Row 2 we purl. Takes me longer to purl. What about you guys? Okay, now for row 3 we're going to knit 1. And then we make 1, so you see that bar? I'm going to pick it up. And then we knit. Okay. And now we knit 2. And then we make 1. So there's the bar. I'm going to pick it up. And then we're going to knit it. And then we knit our last stitch. Okay, so for row 4 we purl, row 5 we knit, row 6 we purl, and I will show you what we do for row 7. Look how cute it's looking! So now we're going to decrease. You don't have to, you can just bind off and it can be this small, but if you want it into like a circle, if you want, you slip, slip, knit. So we slip our first one, slip our second one, and we go through both of them, and we knit them, and then we knit 2, and then we knit 2 together. Ooh. So we're going to bind off purlwise. So we purl 2, get our first stitch and we pull it off like that. Okay, we need one more stitch on our right needle, so we purl only one. Then we grab this stitch, our first one, and we pull it off our second one, like that. Do it again. Now we have two. First stitch over our second, like that. Okay, and now we're going to take our needle off. We're going to use our crochet hook. And I'm going to work on the right side. And then we're going to go through and do a single crochet around. Now you don't have to do this, but I think it looks better. Okay. So what you're doing is you're just going to go through whichever loop you want. Then you yarn over. So yarn over, bring that yarn through, yarn over again, and go through these two stitches. Okay? Let's do it again. Let's go again. Yarn over, go through, yarn over. Okay? You're gonna go all the way around. Okay, so this is where I started, right? I started crocheting here. I'm gonna go through both of those loops, 1 and 2, okay? And then you're just gonna yarn over, go through. Instead of going through like this, we're just going to slip stitch. Okay? And then you can pull this out. And then you're going to cut it, and then you will sew it on your hood, wherever you think looks the cutest. And of course, make another ear. Well, that's how you make a knitted ear. I also made my seed stitch cowl with a seed stitch ear, so I just did knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, and decreased. So if you want to do it that where it matches your seed stitch cowl, then you can do that.